You step into the elevator. You press the button. The doors close, and then, for just a fraction of a second, something strange happens. Your stomach lurches. It feels like it's trying to stay behind, while the rest of you moves. It's brief, it's weird, and it happens almost every single time. But here's the thing. That tiny sensation? It's actually one of the most fascinating things your body does. And almost no one knows what's really causing it. Today, we're going to find out exactly what is happening inside your body in that split second, and why your organs are involved in ways that might genuinely surprise you. We'll also ask, what does an elevator have in common with freefall? And then there's the part almost nobody expects. Why does your brain actually think you might be dying in that moment? Stick around, because the answers go much deeper than you'd think. Let's start with what you actually feel. The second an elevator begins moving downward, there's this unmistakable lurch, like your insides took a half step behind you. It's not your imagination, and it's not just nerves. It's physics meeting biology inside your body. To understand it, you have to understand something strange about the way you're built. Deep inside your skull, past the eardrum, past the cochlea, there's a tiny chamber called the vestibular system. It is your body's personal motion detector. And within that system, there's a specific structure called the saccule, a small fluid-filled sac lined with microscopic hair cells. The saccule's one job is to detect vertical movement, up, down, acceleration, deceleration. It is exquisitely sensitive. And the moment your elevator starts to drop, the saccule knows before the rest of you does. Here's how it works. Under normal conditions, gravity pulls constantly on the fluid inside your saccule, and the hair cells bend just enough to tell your brain, all is well. You are standing upright. Gravity is normal. But the moment the elevator floor drops away beneath you, even slightly, even for just a fraction of a second, the pull on those hair cells changes. The saccule registers a sudden, brief reduction in the gravitational force pressing down on it, and it sends a sharp signal straight to your brain. That signal says one thing. Something is wrong with gravity. Specifically, your vestibular system is detecting what physicists call a brief reduction in g-force, the force that normally presses you into the floor. When the elevator accelerates downward, the floor beneath you is, for a moment, not pushing up on you as hard as it normally does. Your body briefly experiences something close to weightlessness. And that is not something the human body was designed to feel casually. Think about it from an evolutionary standpoint. For almost all of human history, the only time you would suddenly feel lighter, the only time gravity seemed to reduce, was if you were falling off a cliff, out of a tree, into a ravine. A reduction in g-force was, for hundreds of thousands of years, a very bad sign. So your brain didn't evolve to shrug it off. It evolved to panic, just a little. And that panic, that's part of what you feel as your stomach drops. But the inner ear is only part of the story, because there's something else happening at the exact same moment. Something happening not in your head, but in your gut. And this is where things get genuinely strange. Your internal organs, your stomach, your intestines, are not bolted into place. They're not rigid. They are suspended inside your body by flexible connective tissues, almost like organs hanging in a loosely woven net. That design exists for good reasons. It lets them move, compress, and expand as you breathe, eat, and change position. But it also means that when your body accelerates suddenly, your organs don't always keep up. The moment an elevator begins its downward acceleration, your body, your bones, your muscles, your skin, moves with the elevator almost instantly. But your stomach and intestines, suspended in that flexible net, lag just slightly behind. They effectively try to stay where they were for just a fraction of a second, while everything else moves down around them. That is the physical sensation of your stomach dropping. It is quite literally your organs briefly shifting upward relative to your torso. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When those organs shift and pull on their connective tissue, they're also tugging on nerves. Specifically, one of the most important nerves in your entire body, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a sprawling, wandering highway of sensation that runs from your brain stem all the way down through your heart, your lungs, and deep into your digestive organs. When it gets stretched or stimulated unexpectedly, the signal it sends back to your brain is unsettling. That vagus nerve stimulation contributes directly to the stomach drop sensation. That hollow, fluttery, slightly nauseating feeling in your core. It's the same thing you feel at the top of a roller coaster drop, or in a plane hitting sudden turbulence. The nerve is being physically disturbed, and your body interprets that disturbance as a full-body alarm signal. For some people, a strong enough version of it can even cause a brief drop in heart rate or a wave of nausea. Now here's the twist that pulls everything together. Your brain is receiving two very different reports at the same time. Your inner ear, the saccule, is screaming, "We are accelerating downward. Gravity has changed. This might be a fall." But your eyes are looking at the still walls of the elevator, the fixed ceiling, the unchanged display panel. And your muscles and joints, your proprioceptive system, are telling your brain, "We are standing perfectly still on a flat surface." 3 different sensory systems, 3 different answers. Your inner ear says fall, your eyes say stillness, your body says stability. The brain, brilliant as it is, cannot immediately reconcile all 3, and in that gap, in that tiny window of sensory conflict, it defaults to the oldest, most urgent interpretation it has available. Something is wrong with gravity. That cocktail of conflicting signals is why the elevator feeling is so distinct, so hard to ignore, even though your rational mind knows perfectly well you're just riding in a box. Let's talk about the numbers for a moment, because they're genuinely remarkable. The stomach dropping sensation doesn't require dramatic speed or altitude. Your brain is so finely tuned to changes in gravitational pull that this sensation can be triggered by a reduction in g-force of as little as 0.1 to 0.2 Gs. That's barely a tenth of normal gravity. A modern elevator barely grazes that threshold, and yet your body registers it immediately. No hesitation, no warm-up. Your nervous system is that sensitive, which raises a fascinating question. Why do some people seem to feel it much more intensely than others? You've probably noticed this. Some people walk into an elevator and barely register anything. Others feel it every single time, strongly. The difference lies in how sensitively calibrated each person's vestibular system is, and how aggressively their brain reacts to sensory conflict. People with more sensitive inner ears, or a nervous system more primed to catch mismatches between sensory inputs, feel it more. It's not weakness. It's actually a sign of a finely tuned detection system. And here's the part worth sitting with for a moment. That sensation you've felt hundreds of times, maybe your whole life. That half-second stomach lurch you probably wrote off as just the elevator feeling, is actually your body running a survival calculation in real time. Your organs shifting in their connective tissue, your vagus nerve firing, your saccule detecting a change in gravity too small for most instruments to notice. Your brain wrestling with contradictory data from 3 different systems simultaneously. All of that in less than a second, every single time. So the next time those doors close and you feel that familiar drop, you'll know exactly what's happening. Your organs are momentarily defying gravity. A nerve that connects your brain to your gut is being gently stretched, and your brain, for about 1/10 of a second, genuinely believes you might be falling. It's one of the most ancient reflexes in the human body, triggered by one of the most ordinary moments of modern life. And that contrast, the mundane meeting the primal, is everywhere if you know where to look. Which makes me wonder, what other everyday sensations are your body treating as emergencies without telling you? If you want to find out, stay tuned. There's plenty more strangeness where this came from. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.